Yes, sir. The recording has started.
Okay. Okay. This is now I'll talk about a few models, 2 or 3. Number one is the expectancy model. Um, this is known as expectancy model or expectancy theory. It was developed by Victor H. Vroom and expanded and refined by Porter and Loyola and others. And they explained that motivation is a product of 3 factors here: valence, expectancy, and instrumentality adds up to be motivation. Now, what are these 3 factors? Valence is how much an individual wants the reward. That is what is valence. How much of hunger for reward, want for determination for reward that an individual has. That is valence. Expectancy is one's estimate of the probability of that effort will result in successful performance. One's estimate, one's expectation of the probability that effort will result in successful performance. How much that a person believes that if he gives effort, this will result in successful performance. How much of confidence, how much of trust he has in his own ability, and the probability that he expects that if he tries hard, he will be successful. That is what is expectancy. And one's estimate that performance will result in receiving the reward. That is instrumentality. Now, if he is successful, whether he will get the reward or not, that is instrumentality. So number one, how much a person wants the reward, how much he believes that what is the probability of if he works hard, whether he will be successful, and if he is successful, whether he will get the reward or not. Combined, these 3 combined adds up to motivation. Equity model is in fact more used in our lives, in our day-to-day life. We always try to compare. We try to compare with what is our input and what is the output that we get, with the input that somebody else gets and what the output that person is getting. For example, I have an MBA degree. I have 10 years of experience. I have been very sincere. I'm very honest, very punctual, very competent, and I get 100,000 taka per month. And my friend, he has not done an MBA. He has 9 years of service. He is hardworking. He is responsible in everything, and he is getting 150,000 taka per month. So in my equity model, I'm getting less than my friend is getting, although his qualification is less than me. This comparison people always makes, that what I am giving and what I am getting, is it in the same proportion to others, what they are giving and what they are getting. Always, and that is, and if your organization cannot, an outcome is not only salary, the working environment, the other fringe benefits that the company is giving, or stock options, anything that the company gets. And that is why each organization should try to retain their employees by making this proportion high, so that even if he compares with other individuals in other companies, they find that they are better off than others, or they are almost as close to others, and they will not leave the organization because of that. So it's important for you as managers to understand what is the input-output ratio of your employees. That will dictate whether you will be able to retain them or not. And what is your input and output? Are you being paid enough? Are you getting enough outcome of the input that you give? So here is this is the last slide of this chapter. This is a little elaboration on what is input and outcome. Input includes all the rich, diverse elements that employees believe they bring or contribute to the job, and their contribute to the job, like their education, their seniority, their prior work experiences, their loyalty, their commitment, their time, effort, creativity, job performance, everything that you're putting in. An outcome is, are the rewards they perceive they get from their job or employers. Like outcome includes direct pay, salary, your bonuses, fringe benefits, job security, social rewards, psychological rewards, everything together. So here you have to compare whether your outcome is proportionate to your input. So this is all about the first class on motivation. I'll take the attendance first and I'll give you some assignment. I have already sent 3 photographs on your WhatsApp. Have you checked it?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
sir.
I'll brief you on the assignment. First, I want to take your attendance. Drubashish Shen,
Yes, sir.
Elhan Munir, Elhan Munir, Elhan Munir is absent again. Kaisarul Islam Shubho, Kaisarul Islam Shubho, Fahmida Ahmed Monica, Fahmida Ahmed Monica, Galib Amin, Galib Amin, Galib Amin, are you present? Okay, Galib, you are present. What is the problem with your microphone? Qazi Tawfiqul Islam, Tawfiqul Islam. Okay. Qazi Shetul,
Kaji Tofikul Islam.
Present, sir. Kazi Shitul.
okay. Tawfiqul Islam, are you here? Yeah, you're
Yes,
here.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Zuhair Shams, Shahriar Onik.
Yes, sir.
I've not said your name. Maisha Samia Lamia.
Yes, sir.
So Shadirani was present.
Okay. Zuhair Shams, are you there? Zuhair Shams. Shahriar Onik. Yeah, I saw you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Samir Sakir Siddiqui. Samir Sakir Siddiqui. Asma Ahmed Diza.
Present, sir. Sir, Samir was present. Sir, maybe internet problem, sir. He was very sick, sir.
Okay. Sabia Tabassum Lima.
Yes, sir.
Farhana Aziz.
Present, sir.
Tamanna Sharmin Queen.
Present, sir.
Sabia Nourin.
Present, sir.
Lamia Niza. Lamia Niza. Niza. Shah Imran Rakib.
Yes, sir.
Shah Imran Rakib.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Kaji Nusrat Alam.
Sir.
Shirajul Islam Chaudhry.
Yes, sir.
Rudaina Tasnuva. Rudaina Tasnuva.
Sir, she was in class, sir.
Was she present? I don't see her responding.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Before breaking a break, she was present, sir.
Lubna Akhtar.
Yes, sir.
Nanfuka Mili.
Present, sir.
Okay. SK Moinur Rahman.
Present, sir.
Sudipta Kumar Dhali. Syed Tahmid
Yes, sir.
Rahman.
Yes, sir. Syed Tahmid Rahman.
Okay. Fatima Tu Zohra.
Yes, sir.
Nusrat Jahan Cynthia.
Yes, sir.
Saida Afia Khanum.
Present, sir.
Afia Khanum.
Present, sir.
I got it. Maria Tina Gomez.
Present, sir.
Hasna Jahan Happy.
Yes, sir.
Afia Farzana. Afia Farzana. Afia Farzana. Sadnan Kabir. Sadnan Kabir. Fahimur Rahman.
Present, sir.
Saqib Mahmood. Saqib Mahmood. Saqib Mahmood. Mahbub Shahriar.
Present, sir.
Sadia Hussain.
Present, sir.
Sabbir Hussain.
Present, sir.
Sharmin Shejuti.
Present, sir.
Sir,
I
I just joined, sir.
Fazlur Rahman.
Proper break.
Mohammad Fazlur Rahman.
Present, sir.
তুমি কে?
Sir, Samir
কইছিলা
Secretary.
তুমি?
Sir, I just joined from the break. It took a little bit long, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I am Rudaina Tasnubha.
Where have you been?
Sir, sir, my headphone is not working, sir.
Is your head working?
Yes, sir. Sir, I present, but my headphone is not working.
এখন শুনতে পাচ্ছি তুমি হেডফোন অনেক সময় কাজ করে না।
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
No problem. No worries. Sadi Mohammed Ridoy.
I'm Rudaina Tasnubha. Okay.
Present, sir.
It's okay.
So Sadi Mohammed Ridoy, present.
Sadi Mohammed Ridoy.
Present, sir.
Ridoy.
Yes, sir.
I got you. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Now, okay, got you. I have sent the assignments to you. Could everyone find out their names on the list?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you have to. I have assigned a great speech to each individual student, and you will prepare a live presentation on this speech, and the length of the speech will be minimum 4 minutes, maximum 5 minutes. You have to finish within 5 minutes, and it will have 4 components. I don't want to repeat this twice, so please pay attention to the 4 components, and if somebody has not heard me, they should get it cleared from other students who are attentive. This presentation will be divided into 4 components, and you have to include all these 4 components in your 5-minute speech. Number 1 is you have to describe the leader who has given this speech. For example, Dhruvashish Sen, your speech is Speech of Gallipoli by Kamal Atatürk. So the first component of your speech is to describe Kamal Atatürk. Who is Kamal Atatürk? Where is he from? How did you reach that leadership level, etc., etc. Then you have to, second component would be to give a summary of the speech. The speech that Kamal Atatürk gave on Gallipoli, you have to give a summary of that speech. The third component is the impact that speech made during the time when this speech was given, and for us today, for subsequent generation, the impact that speech made. And the fourth component would be you should assess the leader, the person as a leader. What kind of leader was he? Out of the different leadership definitions that I have told you, why do you believe that he is a charismatic leader, or he is a visionary leader, or he is, the other category of leadership that I have taught you? What type of leadership do you think he is, and why? These 4 components will make up your 4 to 6 minute speech. And you don't have to speak the same amount on all 4 components. One component you may cover in 30 seconds or 40 seconds or 1 minute. The other component you can take 2 minutes or 3 minutes, depending on the requirement. But some of these speeches are very short. Some of the speeches are very lengthy. But you have to summarize it. I want you to give me the summary. And then you'll video record your own presentation. And you send it to Shudipto. Shudipto.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
আমি কি এই অ্যাসাইনমেন্টটা তোমাদের কি গত সপ্তাহে দিয়েছিলাম নাকি?
না স্যার, আজকেই দিয়েছেন।
Okay. So you'll also open a link like before, and then all will submit this to you. And I want all of you to submit this by next class is 27th of March. You should submit this by 26th of March evening by 7 p.m. on 26th of March. This should be prepared and submitted to my class captain, and you should mail it to me by morning on 27th of March. And
Okay,
you have to prepare. You'll be able to download this from the speech from the internet. It's all available. All informations are available online. So you have to really write the proper script, edit it, and then deliver the speech, record it, and send it to me. And I'll grade you based on the component of your speech, whether you have covered all the components correctly. I'll grade you on how well you can articulate this speech, how much of your body language and your verbal language coincides, how confident you are, how good your English is, how well you're dressed as a manager. Altogether, you'll be graded. In this midterm, we will not take a midterm exam. This will be part of the assessment of the midterm. And on 27th of March, I'll give you some other assignments, and I'll give you some time for that, for you to submit that. Combined together will be your midterm mark. This assignment and the subsequent assignment that I assigned on 27th of March. Is that clear? Sudipto?
About the last assignment of 27th March, do we need to submit at that day in our class time?
Which assignment? No. The one that I'll give on 27th, I'll give you some time to submit that. It's not an exam, it's an assignment, so you get some time for that.
Oh, yes, sir.
Sir, is that the group assignment?
It is not the group assignment, my dear. That's the individual assignment that I'll give on 27th.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Anything
Can
else?
you repeat number 4?
Did you mark our first video presentation?
I couldn't hear you.
So did you mark our first video presentation?
Yes, I have.
Sir, yes, sir. I was going to ask about the same. Like, if you give us feedback on the first assignment, then I think we'll be better equipped for this one.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't want to give you the specific marks. Let me tell you that you have done fairly well. Some of you have got 5 out of 5. Many of you have got 4.75, and the lowest mark is 3.5. Some of you have got 3 also. And those who have got comparatively less, it's a combination of many factors. You were late in submitting, or there was something wrong in that, but mostly you have done well. I don't want to specify the names. যারা একটু কম পেয়েছে তাদেরকে maybe individually I'll text you.
Yes, sir, that will be really helpful. Like, if we get some indication, like if we're doing things correctly, then it will be really helpful.
Okay. So these are the speeches. Excuse me?
Sir, can you please repeat the number 3 and number 4 components?
আমি চারটাই রিপিট করছি। এক নম্বর হচ্ছে you describe the leader. Number 1 component, you describe the leader. Number 2, summary of the speech. Number 3, the impact that speech had during the time it was delivered and for subsequent generations till now. And number 4, you'll assess what type of leader that individual was. That is number 4 component. Dhrubashish Sen, speech of Gallipoli, I said. Ilhan Munir, quit India, Mahatma Gandhi. Kaisarul Islam Shubho, the farewell sermon, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Fahmida Ahmed Monica, 7th March speech by Bangabandhu, and there are many other speeches like this. Mark Twain, Galib to nai ajke. Is Galib around? Galib?
Sir, he's in class.
He's in the class, sir. He's talking in the chat. Maybe his mic is not working.
Okay. Anybody has heard? Yeah, you're present. I'm sorry. Have you heard of Mark Twain?
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you in the middle. Sir, my name is not my name is missing in this list. Mahbub Shariar.
পুরা লিস্টে তোমার নাম নাই?
No, sir.
Have you seen the entire list?
Yes, sir. I can see the entire list. 29. Afia. Oh, yes, sir. It is present. 36. Thank you, sir. Sorry to disturb you, sir.
As managers, we must not decide on snapshot information. We must see the entire picture before deciding. Shariar, nothing wrong.
Sorry, sir.
Okay, Mark Twain. Has anybody heard of Mark Twain?
Yes, sir.
Who is he?
Sir, he's an American writer, sir.
Can you name any of his books?
Sir, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
It is my favorite book, Huckleberry Finn.
Huckleberry Finn as well. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Have you read those?
Yes, sir. I wrote both.
Yeah, it reminds of our childhood. And I used to live in Tampa, and I drove all the way up to Massachusetts, near Boston, where he used to live and write. It's a museum now, and I just wanted to see the environment he grew up in, and the environment in which he wrote. And he was so famous. Once he was on a tour to Europe. And that time aircrafts, commercial flights were not available. People had to go on ships. So when people went to visit Europe, they used to stay there for a couple of months, maybe 6 months, 1 year. And once Mark Twain was touring Europe, and some of his friends wanted to send him a Christmas card. And they did not know exactly where he was, whether he was in England or in London or in Italy or France. So on the card, on the envelope, they wrote Mark Twain, God knows where, the address. And they mailed it on the post. And a month later, they received an answer. Mark Twain replied, he did. That means this card reached him wherever he was in Europe. So famous, that kind of famous he was, that even the mail system of each country knew where Mark Twain is. So votes for women, important speech. Tawfiqul Islam, speech of the UN 1964. Tawfiqul Islam also?
Yes, sir.
Ernesto Che Guevara. Have you heard of his name?
No, sir.
You have not heard of Che Guevara?
Yes, sir. I hear it.
Okay. 2 speeches of JFK. Martin Luther King, another great orator. Poverty Should Be in Museums by Dr. Yunus. Steve Jobs, Mother Teresa, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Malala Yusuf. Many important speeches have been allocated to you. These are very interesting. And since Sudipta will send it to me on a drive, if you have free time, you should see the presentations of others also. If you know at least these 41 great speeches, I'm sure this will help you in your future life as a manager. These are some of the finest speeches. Abraham Lincoln, Gettysburg Address, just a page long, short speech. It had sentences like government of the people, for the people, by the people. He gave it after the federal government won the civil war in USA after the Battle of Gettysburg. So many great speeches here. Bill Gates, Harvard commencement address, Tear Down the Wall by Ronald Reagan when Berlin Wall was torn down. Chief Joseph, a Red Indian, surrender speech, beautiful speech, short speech, one paragraph. You just see it. You see how articulate these speeches were. So you see the name. I hope everybody's name is included. So prepare a nice presentation, and your result depends on this. Take it seriously and send it on time to Sudipto.
Sir, I have a question, sir. For John F. Kennedy, there is a. I have the decision to go to the moon, and I have seen twice more similar speeches. Is it
Yes.
is it all the same one?
It's the same one.
It's the same one. Okay.
Do you mind if somebody else prepares it on that? Doesn't matter.
Okay, no problem, sir. I just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
Sir, Juhair Shams, he is present, but his microphone is not working, so he has missed the attendance.
Did he tell him to send a message now again?
He has sent it a message in the chat box.
Tell him to send it again. I want to see.
Okay. And sir, another thing, can we use slides during our presentation?
If you want, you can use no additional marks for slides, but you must give the presentation. This is why I got you. You have to give the presentation in a way that I can see you, because seeing you is more important than seeing your slide, because I want to see your body language when you speak. If you can show me both, it's okay.
Okay, sir. And you have said that we have to describe 4 parts there. So before starting each part, are we supposed to mention that now I am going to give the summary of the speech or something?
No, you don't have to. You don't have to mention that. I'll understand by listening to it.
Okay, okay, sir. And sir, the
You
submission.
can mention it if you want. If it is within the time frame, you can mention it. But by listening to the speech, I'll understand. Otherwise.
Okay, sir. And sir, the submission date is on 26th, right? And I have to send it, send all the presentation by 27th March.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Morning, March, 10 o'clock, 10 a.m.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Yes.
স্যার আপনি যদি আমাদেরকে ইন্ডিভিজুয়ালি মানে মার্কসগুলো শেয়ার করতেন তাহলে অনেক ভালো হতো।
ইন্ডিভিজুয়ালি আমি সবার মার্ক সবার মধ্যে শেয়ার করতে চাচ্ছি না। তুমি if you can if you those who are interested, if you text me individually with your name and number, maybe I can share the result with you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
স্যার আমার একটা কোশ্চেন ছিল।
Yes, লুবনা আক্তার।
স্যার বিল গেটসের পাশে জি স্যার স্যার বিল গেটসের পাশে ব্র্যাকেটে স্যার 2 দেওয়া মানে এটার কোনো ডিফারেন্ট কিছু ইন্ডিকেশন আছে?
না, ওইটা কিছুই না। ডোন্ট জাস্ট ইগনোর ইট। আমি দুইজন স্টুডেন্টকে দিয়ে লিখেছিলাম, বাট এখানে একজনই দিয়েছি। যাদের পাশে 2 আছে, ডোন্ট অ্যালাউ ইট টু কিপ ইউ অ্যাওয়েক অ্যাট নাইট। এটার কোনো অর্থহীন এটা নাম্বার। ইট হ্যাজ নাথিং, নো সিগনিফিকেন্স। লুবনা, অস্থির হওয়ার কিছু না এটা নিয়ে।
জি ঠিক আছে স্যার, থ্যাংক ইউ।
Anything else? Any other question?
No, sir.
Okay. I'll start with the second chapter. And I'll maybe half an hour I'll try to cover it, and wherever we finish, we'll continue from the next class. Just a second. Okay, can you see this slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Have you just started recording, or you're recording from earlier?
I was recording from earlier.
Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, so this is the second chapter on motivation, from concept to application. There was a young man. His name was Ricardo Schemmler. He's from Argentina. He's a young entrepreneur. His father, his name was Roberto Schemmler. He built a group of industries. His father did not have much of ambition. He believed in status quo, and he and his some loyal, trusted friends, they built up an organization. And just a minute, I have to take this phone. Okay. Ricardo Schemmler was, he sent his son Ricardo to USA to pursue an MBA. And after he did his MBA, he came back home. And that is when his father died. Roberto died, and he had to take over the company from his father. And he had no experience. He never took he did not have the time to understand how the organization was functioning, because he was pursuing his education, and he thought that he'll finish his MBA. With his education, he'll come back and he'll learn from his father. But ultimately, his father died, and he had to take over. But surprisingly, within a very less time, the sale growth of the company increased by 24%. The profit tripled. If it was 1 taka, it became 3 taka. The number of employees grew from 350 to 2,500, almost 8 times more than the employees his father had. And turnover of, in his company was less than 1%, where in that industry, the average was 20%. So he made a remarkable improvement in that company. And then people studied, how did he make such remarkable, growth in that company? How did he actually do it? Now, these are the things that he did. Now, many of the things that he did may not be applicable in all circumstances, but it may be applicable in some circumstances. Number one, he fired most of the company's top manager. Now, his father, Roberto, he had some money, and he started this company with his loyal friends. And when these friends became old, they were very old school, backdated, not educated. But because of loyalty, because of this long relationship, these elderly people were kept in the top management and were being paid a lot of money, but they were not giving any input. So what Ricardo did is he paid these top managers large amount of money. They felt happy happy to retire. And they said, uncles, go on retirement. You have worked enough. I give you enough money. Go and enjoy your life. And he fired them. Actually, not fired them. He gave them benefit and he told them to go home and rest. Eliminated all job titles. You know, there was the chairman, the vice chairman, the deputy chairman, the senior vice presidents were there, and the number of workers were in Japan. Sudipto?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Have I shared the story of Bangladeshi rowing team, Nauka Bike team participating in a competition in Japan?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Oh, okay. So there was a rowing competition in Nauka Bike. There is a rowing competition, and a team was sent to Japan from Bangladesh, and more than 100 countries participated. And ultimately, the result was Bangladesh became occupied the last position. It's just a story, it's not true. Occupied the last position, and when they came back, the government said that there must be an inquiry. Out of 100 teams, how can you be last? We have sent 50% to attend this competition, spending a lot of money on air tickets, hotel, and all that. And how can you become last? At least there should be a few after you. And the investigator concluded that a team of 50 went from Bangladesh to Tokyo, and within this 50, the delegation members were number one, the sports minister went, the state of sports went, the sports secretary went, three joint secretaries went, 5 deputy secretaries went, 1 manager, chief manager of the 4 physician, and the rower was only 1 participant. Nauka Bike, the one who will actually compete. On 49 are all official. And finally, the inquiry concluded that the rower should be sacked. So this is why Ricardo, he eliminated all jobs to the employees, and he said that this company belongs to you. I want you to run it. I may be the owner, but if we don't all work together, if we don't all believe that this company is our company, the company will not grow. And he delegated a lot of authority, a lot of responsibilities. He used to listen to the employees. He gave them stock options and made them owners of the company. And by this, he has turned the company over to the employees. Allowed employees to interview and select their co-workers. And he said that anybody that needs to be recruited, I cannot recruit the right person sitting at the top. If a department needs to recruit 3%, that department manager should select, because he will actually be working with that employee. So he knows what is his requirement, and he will be able to, provided that everybody is impartial and does justice, and no nepotism, favoritism is done. If that can be ensured, managers at different levels can recruit people, because you know what kind of people you need to work under you. Allowed employees to select their salary structure and work schedule. And he said that, okay, you to the company, you decide how much of outcome you deserve. You remember I taught you input outcome. So he said that, okay, you decide what should be the outcome, what the company should pay you, depending on what kind of input you give. And you fix your own work schedule. You want to work in the morning, or in the afternoon, or in the night, or in the late night. This, I don't know how much is applicable for Bangladesh, because if you tell us to fix our own salary, everybody will ask a lot of money. Inspired workers to understand the company's financial statement, and there was no hide and seek. He said that if you work hard, this is the amount of profit we have this year, and we'll distribute, allocate this financial statement to their wives, to their lawyers for tax return. It's a very huge secret event. I'm doing a PhD on CSR practices in private banking sector, and all I asked in a survey was public information, and even banks are skeptical. They're scared of sharing this information. So what do? The boss confidential report of the employees never contributes in writing the confidential report of the bosses, and he made it both way. The managers will write the report on the employees, then employees together individually will also assess the manager how good he is. I don't know how much this is also applicable for Bangladesh. Post evaluation on boards for everyone to see, and he made it habit to make it public how people are doing, who is being awarded, who is being punished. This was made public. So these are the certain steps that he took, and it achieved great success, and he could achieve this success after him. And now you have to, as a manager, you really have to think that how many of these steps are applicable for Bangladesh, and how many of these are not applicable for Bangladesh. If applicable, how this can be actually implemented. We'll talk about management by objective, MBO, another popular system of management, and it has been adopted by many great companies. One story I want to tell you every day, I forget, and I wanted to tell it during the class on leadership. I told you that I was in Bosnia for 1 year doing the war in former Yugoslavia. And Shudipto, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Shudipto,
Yes,
have I
sir.
told you the story of meeting Bill Clinton in Bosnia? Bill Clinton?
Yes, sir. I think.
I think we have.
Is that he called out a
He
specific
came with a packet
kind of cake?
Yeah, exactly,
Oh.
exactly. Right, exactly. And there are I have when I was in Florida, Barack Obama was also running for his second tenure as president. And I used to be head of a U.S. Central Command, which is a very important command for U.S. military. In fact, all the wars that they in Yemen or wherever it is all under the Central Command. So Barack Obama used to visit our camp very frequently, and in a number of occasions, I had the opportunity to see him from a distance. I think I shook his hand once, but mostly I saw him from a distance. I saw him speak, and down to earth person, and I know such pride as being the president of USA. He's shaking hands, mixing, asking people how they are. Whoever is such a charming character, and if you just see him, you'll feel like to follow him. That is the type of magnetic effect we expect our leaders to have. But just by seeing you, people should be attracted towards him. And these leaders spend a lot. If you listen to the speeches of Barack Obama, he always refers individuals, individual stories, individuals in all his speeches. He or she did this, she suffered this, and she overcame this, and things like that. And gives examples of many American citizens who he refers. Referring people, individuals, sharing true stories, which is pertinent to the particular subject, really adds to the charisma of a particular leader. Management of an objective, as I said, is a very popular management system. In this system, specific performance goals are jointly determined by employees and managers. So here, participation is encouraged. Any goal that has been set by the organization will not be set only by the owner or only by the senior manager. It will be jointly set by the employees and manager. Both should do it together because both has a say in it. The managers may say, okay, we want to produce 100,000 cars by next year. The target is increase it from 50,000 cars to 100,000 cars. They can just give this instruction, but the employees will say, no, to increase it from 50,000 to 100,000 cars, we need to employ another 200 employees. We need to buy another 2 painting machines. We need to construct another warehouse to show. So, all the plans should be jointly done by employees and managers together. That is a major aspect of management by objective. progress towards accomplishing goals is periodically reviewed. So this has to be period. This is a part of MBO. Like the same example, you said that you um, uh, produce 100 cars, 100 cars per year. So, or maybe 120 cars per year. That means every month you have to produce 10 cars. And extra 120 cars. So every month you must see whether you could produce 10 cars. Again, if you have produced 7 cars, it goes on for 3 4 months. You have to readjust your goal. Either bring down the total production from 100 to 85.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Here, you have to periodically
Hello, sir.
review whether you're meeting the goal.
Hello.
Reward
Sir, we can't hear you properly.
best
Sir, we can't hear you properly.
and the key element
I think sir's internet connection dropped.
Yes.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As I was saying, that management way objective is a combination of these
So
3
we cannot
points.
see the slide.
Oh, the presentation has stopped. Okay. Can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So management by objective, the key elements of MBO is goal specification, which has to be jointly done by employees and managers, participative decision making, performance evaluation, period of time. All 3 components that I have to. Now these are the tips are formulated. At the top, your objectives and strategies. For example, your automobile producing industry, and you set an objective at the top that export your automobiles to Africa. That's your objective. Now, major objectives are then allocated among divisions and departments. So, with this objective, this is shared all departments. The finance department say that which bank will give us this loan. The production department will say that in order to produce 100,000 cars, we need to recruit another 500 people. We need to buy new machines, new factories. They will set their own goals based on the overall goal set at the top. The marketing department will say that we need to invest in marketing in Africa. Advertisement has to be done on the media, on print media, billboard. The supply department will say we need to buy more raw material to produce 100,000 car per year. So all the department, finance unit, the marketing unit, supply unit, all the unit, HRM unit, they will set their specific objectives and they will do it together. They'll take all the sub managers, lower managers, all the employees, and then they'll fit. They'll determine their local objective. Specific objectives are collaboratively set with all departments, and here also, when the department sets their own objective, they have to do it in collaboration with other departments. They must know what is the objective set by the finance department. If I'm the production department, I must know what is the objective set by the advertisement department, marketing department, the supply department, etc., etc. Action plan, and based on the objective that has been set by unit or department, I have to articulate an action plan. How to achieve this? How to achieve the new objective that I have set? This action plan has to be set, and based on that action plan, you should proceed. And then action plans are implemented, and it's periodically reviewed, and a successful achievement of objective is reinforced by performance-based reward. So this is a continuous cycle. This is how these are the different steps of an MBO program. Employee recognition program is very important. Employees must develop a feeling that their activities, their contribution is being recognized by higher authorities, by senior personnel in the company. And for that, you have to give personal attention. You have to express interest in those individuals. You must be interactive. You must ask, fleeing questions. How are you? How is your health? How is your parents? You have to take some personal attention. And I always practice this. Whenever I meet someone new, I always try to ask some personal questions and try to establish a rapport between me. And you must approve their good conducts. You must recognize and appreciate, their success. An appreciation of a job well done can be done in many ways. I told you, you can congratulate them in public, even send hand notes, emails, a participatory process that uses the capacity of employees and is designed to encourage increased commitment to the organization's success. More motivated, more committed, and more productive and satisfied completely in an involvement program. So that subsequently, you can do it by workplace democracy. Of course, in all organizations it works. Empowerment very important, and employees ownership. I'll talk about that later. You give stock options to the employees. So participative management, the distinct characteristics common to all participative management program is the use of decision making. So everybody takes the decision together. That is, subordinates actually share a significant degree of decision making power with their immediate superiors. Now, why the management would want to share its decision making power with subordinates? Now, if I'm the boss, why I don't want to keep the power of me really deciding? Why do I want to hand away this power of decision making with my employees? There is a lot of logical reasons behind that. Number one, as jobs have become more complex, managers often don't know everything their employees do. You may be a manager, but you may have more experienced individual working on a particular machine under you. And job has become so complex today, so many electronics, so many machines, there will be employees who will be knowing more than you on a particular specific aspect. That is why you need to take their opinion. That is why you have to give them some power to decide. Because if you decide by yourself, interdependence in tasks that employees often do today also requires consultation with people in their departments and work units. So here today, business is interdependent. One department is interdependent with the other. That is why in a group of industries, people tries to open up an industry which is in the supply chain of something that they are already producing. Now, if a company has a, for example, a cycle industry, so in that cycle industry, he buys the spokes for the cycle from another company. So next industry he can do is he can open a industry which only produces spoke. Then he can open up another industry which only produces tire. So he can use his own tire and his own spoke to produce the bicycle. So there is a lot of interdependence of departments, of employees, and that is why it is better that everybody participates in the decision making. Participation additionally increases commitment to the decision. People are less likely to undermine a decision at the time of implementations, and whenever you take a decision with the opinion, taking the opinion of all, that final decision may not be exactly what an individual has said, but since he participated in that discussion, the final decision becomes everybody's decision. So before taking the decision, everybody will give their logic, everybody will give their point, and ultimately a decision will be adopted. And then that decision becomes everybody's decision. But if you have not consulted with everyone, some will say that this is not my decision, I don't own it, I don't support it. But if you allow everybody to participate and then you take a decision, that becomes everybody's decision. Participation provides intrinsic reward for employees. It can make their job in. So this is self-actualization. If you allow them to participate, they'll feel proud, they'll feel happy with themselves. And this is a secondary need that you're fulfilling as an employer. Representative participation is very popular in the Western countries, where rather than everybody participating, a representative participates on behalf of a group of people. It's like the parliament, where a group of people living in a constituency is represented by a member of parliament, and he speaks on their behalf. This system is used in organizations as well in two ways. One is work council and one is board representative. In some organizations, they have a work council, a group of people nominated or elected representing all groups of people, and any decision that the management takes which affects individuals, this work council has to be consulted. This opinion of the work council has to be taken into account before taking any decision that involves individual. That is called work council. And again, some companies have board members from all category of people working in that company. The chairman of the board may be the owner, maybe the owner of the company, and the board members may be all the directors, and also one representative from all the managers, one representative from all second class officers, one representative from third class officer, grade officer, one representative from the fourth grade officer. So all category of people has a seat in the board, governing board. That is another system of participation. Quality circle is very important. Quality is very important. We must maintain the quality, the specification of the order that has been given to us. And good companies have a group of people who are a member of the quality circle, and their job is to go around the factory production plan and to ensure that everything is as per the specification, as if not better, at least equal to the specification given by the buyer. And what is their job? They work in a circle like this. First of all, they identify the problem and they try to solve the problem. They identify the problems and they select the problem one by one, because all problems may not be able to, it may not be possible to solve it at a time. So they identify all the problems, then they select one problem after the other. They review the problem and they recommend a solution to the problem. This solution is reviewed by the governing body or the ownership, and then the management takes a decision how to overcome the problem. The green one, this is participated by management and the quality circle team. And the light blue is the job of the quality circle team, and this is the decision or actions done by the management. So this is the typical quality circle, how a quality circle operates. Employees ownership program, stock options. In a company established benefit plans in which employees acquire stock as part of their benefit, and good companies does that. Seen in senior level managers, maybe 100,000 share, mid level 50,000, junior level 25,000, all employees 10,000 share. And if you give them stock, anybody owning at least one share, he becomes a partial owner of the company. Variable pay program. We have set salary, but many companies choose a variable pay program. It depends on your performance, and there are a number of ways to pay individuals as per the variable pay program. Number one is piece rate pay plan. In this plan, many companies said that, okay, how many shirts that you cut, per each shirt you'll get 2 taka each. Or they will say that you get a lump sum salary of 5,000 every month, and for every shirt that you cut, you get 2 taka. So 5,000, and altogether this will be a monthly salary. This is piece rate pay plan. Per each action, a certain amount of payment is given, and you compile it, and that becomes your salary. Profit sharing is organization, besides the main salary, they also give some bonus, and it can be based on profit, it can be based on production. Some company organization, they use this program to distribute compensation based on some established formula designed around a company's profitability. So some companies said, okay, if out of the profit, 10% of the profit will be distributed among the employees, and this 10% will be distributed in a fashion that senior management will get this percent, mid management this percent, lower level manager this percent, employees will get this percent. There will be a formula, and based on that formula, they distribute part of the profit as bonus at the end of the year, and it's called profit sharing plan. Other companies distribute this bonus based on the production. Based on how much of production they have done, they create a formula, and based on that formula, all the employees are given some incentive. Skill-based pay plan. Some companies, gives you a basic salary and gives you additional allowance based on your skill. For example, when I did my training in Turkey, I was learning the language there. I learned the Turkish language in Bangladesh for 6 months, and I went there to learn it for another 6 months. And language cannot be learned in classroom. So after going to Turkey, I decided that we'll go out, we'll make friends, and that is how we'll go to the market, we'll talk to people, and that is how to improve our language ability. And once I went to a bank for some official purpose, and there was a beautiful manager. Her name was Shukran Kara Ismailolu. Beautiful Turkish girls. Turkish ladies are Turkish men. Turkish people are beautiful as a whole. Men are very handsome. Ladies are very beautiful, and she was quite beautiful. And she said that she could speak broken English, and she said that I'm a manager of this branch. This is a very important branch, but if I can pass an English language test for each language, for example, French, German, Arabic, English, Spanish, 5 language, any of the bank staffs who knows any of this language and can pass a test of this level, they will get another $200 raise in their salary as skill pay. And I'll be posted to a bank, a larger bank as manager. Like in our armed forces, somebody who is a paratrooper can jump from the aircraft. He gets a special allowance. I can speak the Turkish language. I have done some training. For that, I get some additional allowance. That's a skill-based pay. The skill that I have, I'm being paid for that. And many companies also, Shukran, we made a deal that, okay, I'm here to learn Turkish and you want to learn English. So let us spend time in our off time, and I'll teach you English and you'll teach me Turkish. And we had a very splendid time. Just after class, I used to rush to her. She used to come to a place, and we used to go watch movies and walk in the park, take a boat ride, etc., etc., etc. I'll not be very clear about the rest, but she taught me Turkish very fast, and she also, by the time I came back, she already passed the English test, because this is how you learn a new language. flexible benefits. Some companies give additional benefits. You get this salary, and in addition, you can have, out of this 12 senior management, you can have any of the 5 or 6 benefits, like children's education, medical fee, membership to gym, membership to golf club, to a swimming club, yoga club, etc., etc. And you choose any 5 that you want. And different levels, they can choose 3, they can choose 2. So they have a number of benefits, and based on your seniority, you'll be entitled to have a number of them, and you choose which one you want. Like somebody who doesn't have children, they will not take children education because he doesn't have any expense on that. Maybe he will take annual leave abroad for 7 months, 7 days a year, or something like that. Okay. Okay, we'll stop here. I still have few slides on this chapter. We'll continue this in the next class. I'm getting a bit tired. I hope if you have any question on this part of the lecture, you can ask me. Otherwise, we'll conclude. Ladies and gentlemen. Or if you have anything to ask me on anything, any matter. Stop recording, please.
Okay, sir.
Assalamualaikum. This is Lamia Niza.